Last week you got named the National Assistant Coach of the Year for women's hockey. I was just wondering, what was your reaction when you found that out? Did you have any idea you were even up for it?
I didn't so much. I thought Chris and I had a deal where he was going to nominate both Bear and I, and it would have been great for both of us to win at the same time because Mare is one of the longer-standing female assistants in college hockey and deserves the award as much or more as myself. So a little bummed out she didn't get it with me, but and again, this isn't something I really thrive on. Interviews, the spotlight. I kind of like just sitting in the back seat and going to watch some hockey games and help the team get better.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about it because I remember you were obviously head coach at Colgate a long time ago too. What do you like better about being an assistant coach? Because I'm sure you've had plenty of chances over the years to apply for jobs or even get a head job somewhere. But what do you like about being an assistant instead of being a head coach?
Being an assistant gives me a lot more time to get on the road and watch games, which is what I truly love. It gives me more time to spend on the phone with the recruits, and Chris has. There's a lot to being a head coach other than just standing on the bench, and I think a lot of the administrative work that comes with that isn't something that I was ever in love with. So I've really enjoyed what I do and would like to continue to do it.
That was nice about recruiting too. What's like some things you like about recruiting? And do you kind of keep in touch with kids, even kids that don't pick your school? I mean, do you still ever kind of keep in touch with the kid if you got to know them well and they chose to go to Mercyhurst or Yale or somewhere instead of here?
Definitely see parents on the road of players that didn't end up coming to St. Lawrence, but I don't really keep in touch with them because that would go against.
I didn't mean like contact. I just mean
certainly not calling them up or anything. But if I'm on the road and they have younger sisters playing, or I still see some dads of players that don't have their kids in Toronto anymore, for instance, I'll see them at the rink and have great conversations with them when we joke around.
And sometimes you can kind of get players on the rebound, so to speak. Like a person like Rachael, for example, this year didn't pick St. Lawrence right off the bat, but she wound up coming here later. So it's pretty good. Down if you guys were recruited her when she was younger. Yeah,
no, we didn't do too much recruiting with Rachael. So because we don't recruit too early in comparison to some other schools, a lot of the girls that have looked at us after they've started college never did look at us in the first place because we don't do a lot of, or haven't done a lot of early recruiting in comparison to others.
I'll ask you about this weekend's trip against Colgate and Cornell. What do you kind of remember about those first games you played against these two teams earlier this year?
Yeah, I really remember playing Colgate and Cornell. Tying Cornell, winning against Colgate, those were one of our toughest games other than the Boston College games. I just felt like I was on the go all the time. So we know what to expect when we play them in their home barns this weekend. It's going to be a good game.
You're one of the few teams that have beaten Colgate in the league too this year. Is that kind of a neat feeling when you look at the standings and know that you guys beat the team that's in top because you're close to it yourselves?
Yeah, seeing that Colgate is now 2 this week and we beat them, it's just like, it just shows that we're a top 5 team if we want to be. We just want to prove it this weekend.
And how important is this stretch of the season coming up? You guys have a good chance, obviously, to be home for the playoffs. Is that kind of one of your goals right now, to make sure you finish in the top 4 in the league and get to host a series?
Yeah, this weekend's going to be very important. If we win these 2 games, then we feel like the rest of the season will be be good.
I was asking a little bit about the offense too. I'm sorry, kind of in Anaheim, you guys have really been scoring like 4 or 5 goals a game kind of regularly. What have you liked about what you guys have been able to do this semester offensively?
Yeah, actually, I think our power play, we've been capitalizing very well. Han and Ken have been doing amazing with their passing and scoring lately. So Ken having 4 goals last weekend, that was awesome. So.
And the goal you scored last week, I was going to about that too. Like I couldn't tell on the video who gave you the pass that set that up.
Oh, Justine Reyes. Yeah, I just screamed at her, and then she passed it over, and I just lucky hit it far side.
I guess the other thing I was going to ask you, I was just curious when you're at Mercyhurst, how many CAC teams did you get to play there in non-league games? Like, were you very familiar with the league, or was this all kind of new to you this year?
I only played 2 to 3 teams in the ECAC when I played for Mercyhurst. So being able to play all the teams, like last weekend, Harvard, that's my first time playing them, so it's actually been unreal.
Yeah, I was wondering about that's road venues. Has there been anyone that kind of impressed you, or you thought, well, this is a really nice ring, or someplace other than Anaheim? Obviously, that doesn't count because it's NHL, but you know.
I really was impressed with Harvard's.
Yeah.
It was kind of neat in there.
Right.
I like Princeton's, the barn feeling, like SLU.
All right. First off, I was just wondering. I saw you scored your first goal of the season last weekend. I was wondering what kind of happened on that play, and you know.
Originally I thought it was like a 2-on-1 and Vespi just made a good pass over to me,
Yeah.
and then I had like a breakaway kind of, but then after watching back I saw that it was actually a 2-on-2
Okay.
and that the other defenseman just played it wrong, and I was happening to skate right through them.
I was wondering, you play both, defense and forward. Is there one of the two that you like better, or you know?
I've played defense my whole life, so that
Yeah.
will always be like my favorite, but I'm growing a liking to forward. It's fun. I'm starting to get back into the groove of it from last year, so.
Are there things that can help you as a person who plays defense when you're playing forward, though? Do you kind of know maybe what the defenseman might be thinking in certain situations because that's your regular position? Yeah.
I like to think it does
Yeah.
help, but I find it most useful for like the back checking and stuff. I feel like I have a better view of the ice and like understand where the defenseman wants to like help out from the forwards and stuff like that.
I want to ask a little bit too just about the way your team's been playing lately. What do you like about how you guys have played since the start of the new year here?
Ever since California, I think our team just really clicked well. Like everyone's having a fun time, no major fights or anything, which is always good, and that's good.
And being like where you guys are on the standings right now too, how important is this weekend coming up to playing two of the better teams in the country? Is this something you guys are looking forward to play Golde and Cornell this weekend?
Yeah, every weekend's a big weekend, and these 4 points this weekend is going to be huge for us.
Yeah. And you guys are in a good spot right now. Possibly home for the playoffs. Is that something that's important too to try to get a spot like top 4 spot?
Yeah, at the beginning of the year we set goals, and that was like our first goal is to get home ice advantage in the playoffs.
All right. Well, thanks.